What's going on, everybody? Hashtag Data Spartan back with a new video today, and I'm joined by the man himself, Mr. Chase Courtney. He's the Director of Technology Sales over at IPFS. So, Chase, thank you for joining me.
Glad to be here, Lance. Glad to be here, man.
Yeah, no, I love it, man. So really what I wanted you to do, we're talking offline a little bit, the burning issue in the payment processing space in the insurance industry in 2023. What is it?
Yeah, so I would tell you it's flexibility and how to have payment solutions fit your workflow, right? How do you make payments an asset for your organization? Not just another vendor that we need to plug into our workflow, but how do we strategically plug into our workflow and how do we make payments truly an asset? And there's a couple ways you can do that. But, first, before I get into the payments, I have to take a step back to say, well, IPFS, wait a minute, you're talking about payments. Yes, you do premium finance, but are you talking about pay in full? Are you talking about agency bill? What are we talking here?
Yeah.
Well, how we got here is essentially, we're the largest premium finance provider in North America. And when I stepped into my role, I came from the fintech space, and so seeing the trends coming from fintech into Insurtech in terms of, really the big earning one is the modular ecosystem. So agency management systems starting to open up. You think about in the finance space, SAP and Oracle used to be the monolith of solutions that they would provide, and everyone says just subscribe to SAP and you get all the solutions. Well, then all of a sudden you see accounting and finance departments starts paying $100,000 a year for a solution that they otherwise would have gotten for free. Well, why is that? Because it better fits their process. Well, no different than what we're seeing in Insurtech today. So now we have our agencies, our wholesalers, our carriers, across our customer base say, well, hold on now, I can choose the solutions that best fits my workflow, and I can via APIs, integrations, right? I can make this work for me. Well, no different in payments. So when we started to see where we fit into the insurance value chain of premium finance, already with our large infrastructure, it made sense for us to also jump into the payment space as well, but not just provide a payments portal for people to use, but truly provide multiple payment solutions to fit no matter what our client is workflow. So we kind of think about this in two different ways. We call this a headless customer and a customer that needs a head.
Yeah.
And so if you think about an agency that uses just a customer port, here's a link, it goes to our payment page. Please make a payment. Well, we look at that as like a head customer, but then we think about our headless customers, and that really is where we start to see the value of being able to distribute our solutions and services in multiple arenas that we historically haven't been able to. Third-party rate quote bind platforms, right? Rate quote bind, but where's the transaction? So now all of a sudden we have an ability to embed our payment solutions into a customer hosted site without ever having to interact with an IPFS website. And then what's beneficial from there is now we'd be able to consolidate our premium finance with that payment. So now you're not managing multiple vendors.
Yeah.
So I would tell you that's a huge opportunity, not just us getting into payments, but what types of payment solutions are we offering to our and it's key to us that it not only best fits their workflow from an administrative, to relieve the administrative burden aspect of it, but also too, it's, does it have the ability to surcharge to the insured, right? Can you, if you're using another platform, for a particular insurance product, can you embed that payment experience there as well too? And that way you're managing all of your payments and have visibility of all of your payments and premium financing in one spot.
To kind of, that's really, really good and very insightful. So I guess to kind of, bookend what we're talking about here, if you are out there in the insurance industry and you say, look, yes, I hear you. What would the first step be that anybody could take if they do have concerns about the processing payments, ecosystem and workflow today?
Yeah, so I would say the first step is, do you understand like all the vendors that is using really to help facilitate your workflow? And I think also it's taking a step back to understand where are the manual touches. Do I need to have those manual touches anymore? as I've said, you're starting to see the rise of the modular ecosystem. So, understanding how integrations work and understanding that I can use multiple solutions, I can plug and play into, other things that I'm using, there seems to be, knowledge is picking up, but I think it's understanding just where are my manual touches, where, truly what are the problems that I want to solve first that are costing me, from indirectly, from a hard cost and a soft cost perspective.
Yeah.
What are those manual touches that costing me the most money? And then getting into research to understand, is there a better way via integration that I can do this to automate this, and what solutions are out there?
Awesome. That's awesome. Really good. Well, guys, hope you guys got value out of it. I hope you learned something. I know I did. Chase, thank you so much for this, man. And we'll catch you guys on the next one.